because life will never be all roses. Although if you don't start changing that conditioning, you might feel like you in all hell. And I'm telling you, it ain't ever supposed to be that way, even in difficult times. You think this is the first difficult time of things collapsing around folk and no, this is the time for it. And you were born for such a time as this. You were born for this shit. Stop acting like a wimp. Stop acting like you weren't. It's time to change your mindset. It's time to expand who you are. It is time to expand and grow and love and get out of that fear-based shit. You ready? Hi, I'm Zara Green, and this is Living Clarity. What I do over here is crush conditioning. Everything you've been conditioned to believe that is working against you. But you won't know that unless you have the courage to challenge your beliefs. I believe that every single person was born with a unique design, and that design has them already equipped for the life they need to live and to do it successfully. I also know for sure that we have all been conditioned with some BS, some crap that works against us. And what I am all about is really cutting through the conditioning so that you can get to the good parts, so that you can start to see the stuff that is hindering you, so you can get on with living according to your design, not other people's desires. If that all sounds good to you, then I invite you to subscribe and engage, like, comment, share. And before I forget, there's a free mini masterclass that I've created to help you dig deeper on the ways that you've been conditioned so that you can get out from under the condition, rise above it, and start to live according to your design. Okay? There is an absolutely beautiful song by Beautiful Chorus. That's the name of it. And the song is called Positivity. I love the song. I have trouble listening to music nowadays, any kind of music. It doesn't matter the genre, because eventually I'm going to bump into some lyrics that work against my mindset. Here are the lyrics. Please bring positivity into my life every day. And that repeats several times. Then it goes into this. Please bring only peace and joy and everything that is love into my life every day. I'm going to show you why that's a problem. I know that you love songs with positivity, but I need you to understand something. That mindset is a setup for all kinds of defeat in your life. Life will continue to disappoint you with that mindset. Ready? Here we go. What I've taught over the past 30 years continues to expand. And in this space, I am crushing conditioning. All the conditioning that's working against you. So, let's look at the mindset that somebody has to have in order to believe that second stance. That they can first of all pray to some almighty God to only bring peace and joy and everything that is love into their life. Most of the people who believe that believe in a God where things are always working out for their good. Well, if you believe that things are always working out for your good, then why are you afraid of something that shows up that is not peace and joy or everything that is love? Now, you can position yourself and become a vibration that attracts peace and joy, but you cannot shun out everything else. The only thing you can do is prepare yourself for it. So, let me give you a few things that are standing in your way. Number one, believing in an idealistic life. That everything is rainbows, everything is peaceful, everything is joy, everything is going to only make you feel good. That is a lie, and that is not why we came. This is life school. If this is life school, then there are things that you came here to learn. Now that's my belief. My belief is that we all came here with a particular way of being, a particular design, the ways that you think, feel, and react to things or respond to things, or your behaviors, natural behaviors, are all unique to you. Now, there's some conditioning, and there's all kinds of conditioning, particularly environmental, that will contribute to what other people see, your behaviors. But there's stuff that's hardwired, and there's stuff that's personality. And that's why it's important for you to understand who you are versus what you do, or what you've become, or what you've been conditioned for. Okay? So idealism, in terms of life being perfect, or there being a perfect life that does not bring in any opportunities for growth. Challenges are not coming to wipe you out. Challenges are coming to make you better. I have a video that helps you to understand that and to get you a better mindset. Number 2, the idea that if it's uncomfortable, then somehow it's wrong. Listen, there are people who go through all kinds of reasons to explain this. And particularly today, then people talk about this generation don't like nothing hard. They're punks. They can't handle anything. When the truth of the matter is, the previous generation prepared this cushiony life for so many of them. When life gets hard, they don't have the tools. But let me tell you something. It is not just this generation. You can go back to however old the oldest person is. There's probably some stuff with them too that they've never learned to deal with, to handle, to address in an effective way. Because most stuff just ain't our business. But we have been conditioned to be buttoned in places that ain't our business. So growth happens in those discomforting places. When you are not comfortable is where your growth happens, because you learn based on who you are and what your conditioning has been a better way to handle whatever is presented. So you have two options whenever something is presented to you. You can see it as something that is coming against you. You can see it as an enemy. It's why I have a problem with the good and the bad and the devil and the God and that polarization. Because it makes anything that happens in your life somebody else's fault rather than you just getting better about handling it. And we all have that capacity. We don't all have that ability. Capacity. We have to develop the abilities. And every single one of us has the capacity to develop into whatever challenge comes our way. And that is why we have different challenges. We have different challenges because we're all built for different things. People look at other people's lives and go, I don't know how they got through that. Well, you didn't have to learn. That wasn't your lesson. But if something is before you, if something is presented to you, if you have a particular challenge, especially when you think, oh my God, I'll never get through this. First of all, you got to change that I'll never get through it, because you're right, if that's what you believe. But if you will get in touch with who you are, understand your hardwiring, start cutting through the bullshit of the conditioning, then you'll know that there is absolutely nothing you're faced with that you cannot handle. And I'm telling you today, you've been conditioned for so much bullshit that so many of you are in fear and running scared and responding in fear. And that is why you're so effed up today. You're effed up because you are not embracing the challenges life is bringing. You're blaming, you're pointing fingers, you're doing exactly what the marketing wants you to do. Whenever there's a pendulum is something that is thrown out and there's enough momentum behind. They're actually like bandwagons. Let me throw something out here and see if I can get enough momentum behind it that people will agree with me, and I can create enough division. That is what's happening in our world right now, particularly the U.S. Trust me, I'm outside of the U.S. It is not happening everywhere. Are there other places outside of the U.S. that's happening? Yes, but to the same degrees and in the same ways? Absolutely not. You have to become a person of independent thought. Somebody who can think for themselves, not just follow the marketing, or you will always be one of their ploys, just something they use, a plaything, a puppet. So if you're feeling some discomfort right now, oh baby, that's just the challenge that's summoning you to expand, to grow beyond, to think something different. to expand what you believe, to get away from the conditioning. Because unless you can find a place of peace in it, you can find peace in discomfort. Discomfort comes to expand you, but there is a way to find peace and joy in the discomfort. It doesn't matter what life presents, you can have peace and joy in the discomfort. So hear me. There are things that you are designed for, ways of being, and then there are things that you are conditioned for. When you are in touch with your natural design and live according to your design, then it will raise you up out of any conditioning. But you've got to understand how you're designed in order to understand the conditioning that's happened with your life, in your life, so that you can rise above it. And here's the other thing, y'all. Rarely is life just going to deliver you, all good or all bad. It's why we have to learn how to take the bitter with the sweet. You have to understand that life is not always one-sided. So there might be one area of your life that's going exceptionally well, and then it seems like other areas are falling apart. You have to become a master, first of all, of you. Because when you understand how you process things, you understand your own thoughts, emotions, and feelings, and you start to master those, then you can integrate your life, the good and the not so good, the stuff that feels good, the stuff that doesn't feel so good. You'll learn to neutralize your life so that you're not living for those good moments. You learn to just embrace it all, work with it all, and understand that it all balances out when you do that. But until you learn to do that, you'll continue to live this hot and cold kind of life. And if your life has been conditioned by all that shit, then you are in a space of depression all the time. That's what it is. The world of psychology has conditioned you that feeling down is somehow wrong. It is not. You just have to learn how to modulate all of the feelings, all of the stuff. Everything that life throws. It's always going to be the good and the bad. When you learn how to focus more and to become appreciative of the good, you will have less bad moments. You'll learn to accept and allow things quicker, and then you can rise above them quicker, and you never really dip down that low. It doesn't matter what comes. Let me tell you a quick story. My father passed a couple years ago. We knew it was coming. He had leukemia. Although, and I'll tell this story one day, the man lived with the stuff for over 25 years. Most people had no idea my father had leukemia. He beat the shit out of that for many, many years. And then it came back in like the past 5 years of his life, he was dealing with it. But for the first at least 3 years, he decided, I ain't ready to go nowhere and I ain't going until I'm ready. Well, I may tell that story at some point, but Daddy always told me, let the dead bury the dead, and it doesn't matter if I'm dying, you go live. Don't you ever stop your life for mine. Don't you ever stop your life because death has called. Death is going to call us all. You see, most people have these ideas about death and they've been conditioned for it. And you really have to ask yourself, what is this? Who is this conditioning benefiting? What is this belief I have around this thing benefiting? Let me tell you where I was when my daddy died. I was in Florida on a stage. I knew he was dying. I also always knew I wouldn't be there for it. I ain't need to be. Some of y'all think you got to rush home to... No, I didn't rush home knowing I knew he was passing, but I had an amazing relationship with my father. And all that needed to be said was said. I don't have a fear-based belief around death. In fact, I knew that the moment he crossed over, our relationship would be catapulted to even another level. And we have had a very strong bond for most of my life. The last of it He was trying to force some religion, and that shit was not going to work for me. It doesn't matter who it is. When you are strong enough in who you are, doesn't matter who's trying to bring what. You can still stand strong in yours. And I knew when he crossed over, then he would understand things in a way that his conditioning didn't permit him. So when I tell you, the moment he crossed over, I knew it in Florida. That man blew through me, baby. The veil is thin, let me tell you. The veil between this earth here and where they are, there is extremely thin. And if you'll allow and be open enough, then they are still right there. My Father is so present with me even as I travel all over and live in other countries and do other things. And he is always providing for me and opening doors and doing things. I know when stuff is him. We still have a ball. He's hilarious. He's always been such a source of comfort and joy and love and all that stuff for me and cheering for me. He is still my number one cheerleader. That never stopped. So he transitioned, but our love continues. Our relationship continues because that is my belief system. And I only have belief systems that work for me. It's amazing to me, Christians, how you can, to be absent from the body is to be present with the Lord. Well, hell, why you stressing? Why you tripping? If that's what you believe, why are you tripping? Maybe you need to modify that thing to where it works for you. Because while I'm a certified minister, I am not a practicing Christian, but there are still some things of Christianity that I still carry with me. Most of it I do not. I only carry the stuff that works to my advantage. As I cut through the conditioning and just allow the expansion, I only take with me that which is to my advantage, that works with my design, that works with my purpose in life, that works with the assignment that I believe is on my life. So you got to learn how to integrate the bitter and the sweet, because life will never be all roses. Although if you don't start changing that conditioning, you might feel like you in all hell. And I'm telling you, it ain't ever supposed to be that way. Even in difficult times. You think this is the first difficult time of things collapsing around folk and no, this is the time for it. And you were born for such a time as this. You were born for this shit. Stop acting like a wimp. Stop acting like you weren't. It's time to change your mindset. It's time to expand who you are. It is time to expand and grow and love and get out of that fear-based shit. It's time to expand. You ready? Start with the free masterclass I have that's cutting through the conditioning, okay? The link's below. Well, that's all I have for you today. If you enjoyed this, then subscribe and engage. Like, comment. Let me know how this struck you. Was there something new here? Are you still confused about something? Do I need to further expound about something? Then let me know, okay? So comment, share, and turn on that notification bell so I can see you here the next time. It's your life. Choose it just as it is. Own it, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Change it. As long as you can breathe and learn, it can get better. Bye for now from Medellin, Colombia.